He was chased by a mummy over and over, and she was chased by a psychopath over and over. Can today's contestants connect Brendan Fraser to Anya Taylor-Joy? We'll find out on today's 5 to 9. Welcome to 5 to 9, the movie game for movie fans. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg, and we're coming to you today from the movie theater with the most screens in Asbury Park, the Showroom Cinema on Cookman Avenue. Do you love movies? Do you love getting lost in the IMDb, the Internet Movie Database? Do you love talking through, who was that guy? Who was in that thing? What's his face? Then this game is for you, and this show is yours. Our first guest today is somebody who says her favorite childhood movie was Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? And I have to know exactly why a child would love that movie. Please welcome Jennifer Enskat. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
What is there for children in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
I don't know if there's anything in there for children except that I started my acting career when I was 4, so I was always looking at movies a little bit differently. And just seeing those performances, I have to say I didn't really understand what the film was about. I also don't remember exactly how old I was when it became my favorite as a child. I don't think I was 4, but I was probably watching cartoons when I was 4. But I just seeing, Elizabeth Taylor, Sandy Duncan really impressed me. I was just watching their performances and trying to figure out how they did what they did, but I didn't really understand why everyone seemed to hate each other so much. So it definitely is not a film for children, but that's the kind of thing that attracted me. It was like an acting class.
Now, likewise, you said that a movie that you'd want to make sure that your kids see would be Schindler's List. Would that be at 4?
Not at 4. No, I would say more like high school. Because in fact, it came out when my son was in high school and it was a requirement in their European history class. And I thought that was brilliant. He came over with a bunch of his friends. We were watching it at our house. And then, the teacher made sure that they in fact did watch it by the questions that were asked. But the boys were clowning around like they always did before they watched something at our house. And then after a while, they were very, very quiet. It moved them enormously. And I thought, this is such a great way to teach them about the Holocaust.
Well, there's the famous story that while making the movie, Steven Spielberg was... It takes such an emotional toll to be focused on a movie like that for as long as he was. And so Robin Williams would call him while he was on set and just make him laugh. And he wouldn't say goodbye. He would just wait for the biggest laugh and then hang up.
Oh, that's awesome. So he was keeping him sane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, because that is a thought I've had. When you're doing something long term like that, it's going to be a lot more impactful than being the actor even, or certainly more impactful than the audience.
Well, you're just focused on it for a much longer period of time as the director, the pre-production, the post-production, just years that you're focused.
He's living in it for years.
Absolutely. So, speaking of making films, you're a filmmaker.
Yes.
And you, in addition to recutting a documentary for PBS, you also just recently finished the last screening here at the Garden State Film Festival that your film played right here at the Showroom Cinema of your short film, Yes, Mother. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, Mother was, yes. I said, yes. Yes, Mother was, it started out as a fun little family project. So my daughter is a writer, among other things, and she was coming home for Christmas and she said, hey, I wrote a script, for fun over Christmas, let's do this, because my partner is a cinematographer and visual effects artist. And I read the script, this mother, she's heinous. And I said, what are you trying to tell me? What does this mean?
This is the therapy session.
But actually, there's a wonderful story behind it.
Therapy.
Because my whole career, I was the girl next door, and then I was the young mom next door, then I was the older mom next door. I was always the lady next door. And I'm honestly not complaining because
it's so interesting because I've always seen myself as wacky next door neighbor, Charlie from Empty Nest, Larry from Three's Company. So I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, and we had the same manager, Larry from Three's Company. I knew him when I lived in L.A. So, and in L.A., I bought a house. So playing the lady next door is not necessarily a stupid thing. It's just that it's boring. And so she thought it would be really fun for me to play this really warped, middle-aged female serial killer. And it was a lot of fun. And what's especially cool is that this is our last one. We've been in the festival circuit for a year. This little family project has now turned into a proof of concept for a feature. We may already have the funding. I mean, people are talking to us.
Great.
So we'll see. I mean, the script isn't written yet, but it will be.
Yeah,
And
there's the serial killer next door, right?
it's just that's it. And that's one of the things. Sounds like a rant. I just really think anybody out there should think about this. If you always cast according to type, like the quirky weird character has to have a quirky weird face, that's kind of obvious. That person who looks normal, maybe if they're not normal, that's actually more interesting.
Sure.
So I think that maybe that's part of the reason that people have responded so well to the short is because that's not what she looks like.
Okay. And it reminds me a little bit of, Catherine Hahn stepping out from the wacky neighbor into the villain of WandaVision as Agatha Harkness. That kind of like, it was Agatha all along.
Yeah. Good example. It is more interesting, and it makes it then more understandable why people didn't cut into her right away.
Sure. And what's the documentary that you're working on right now?
Oh, it's called The Bride Price, and we finished our festival run for that about this time last year, I think. It is about forced marriage in Malawi, Africa, where they have made it illegal, but because of cultural, tribal traditions, it is still really commonplace. Mm-hmm. And they approached me and asked me to come, and there's a long story behind that, how that happened, but we raised the funds and we went to Africa and we shot it, and then I edited it and we put it in film festivals where it did extraordinarily well because we had girls who were rescued from their marriages and so forth. I mean, the interviews were great.
I mean, this is a film that actually changed lives then.
It did, yes. And now PBS is interested, but they wanted me to make it longer. And let me tell you, you take a 50-minute film and you add 5 minutes, that's 10% more.
Yeah.
That is hard.
Yeah.
Because they had this really nice story arc, and you can't just shoehorn stuff in there.
It's also like when you've cut it down to 50, you've cut out the things that you made the decision, we don't need this.
Right.
So trying to put something back in, there's this instinct of like, but we don't need it.
Why? We didn't need it. But I did find some cool stuff. And so I thought, all right, you know what? I just have to take it all apart and put it back together again. You can't just
it's not one
stick
piece.
A thing in. Right.
Yeah.
So it took 6 months to do that much. And now there's some other things I need to change for them. Like they want the credits differently and all that jazz.
Sure.
But
classic PBS runaround.
Oh, well, and I swear to God, if I had found there's like a cheat sheet out there that I didn't see until after that said, here's what they really like. And it's like,
All right.
That would have been good to know.
Well, today's other contestant is your partner in Yes, Mother.
Yes.
Cynthia Gray, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Cynthia, I'm so glad you're here. Now, before the show, you told me that unlike Jennifer, who wants to make sure that, her kids would see Schindler's List, you want to make sure that your kids see Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
And this is just an opposite direction. I assume you don't mean the one coming out April 4th that by the time this episode airs is already out with Chris Pratt. I assume you mean the one with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. And why is it so important for your kids to see this in order... Go ahead.
It's for the culture. You have to just like establish of like, this is the top tier cinema. People will try to tell you that it's other films, like more polished films. No, it is the OG Super Mario Brothers movie.
I mean, that movie is a reason why video game movies didn't continue getting made for at least a decade.
Yeah.
It killed a genre.
But the genre's back.
Now.
And it's thriving, in my opinion. But
I think Resident Evil had a lot to do with that, though.
Quite possibly, yeah. It definitely, that was like a lot of like a crowd pleaser one. But I actually, one of the things I do outside of acting and writing is I'm a Twitch streamer and YouTuber, like very into video games, video game podcast stuff. And I'm starting a new series that's all about video game to movie adaptations. Mm-hmm. So I'm like going and watching all of the live action adaptations.
Now, are we only doing films? Or are we also doing series? Like, of course, The Last of Us, things like that.
I will be doing series. I have not. I love the Last of Us game, so I haven't dipped my toes into the show yet. But I have finally been convinced, like, it's worth watching. I think the only
was it the 9.0 rating?
Well, no, I was so like. Anytime you do an adaptation, you change stuff, and it's just like, but I love the game so much.
Sure.
So it's just like, but what did they change? I need to know what they changed. Is it good? So I will definitely dive into that.
Well, give me a quick thumbs up, thumbs down. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Doom. What do you think?
I thought it was really fun.
You thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you also mentioned to me that you want to see more Knives Out sequels. Obviously, we have Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery. And I guess my question is, for more Knives Out sequels, do you want to see more Benoit Blanc, which we are going to see? Rian Johnson is working on a third Benoit Blanc mystery for Netflix. Or do you want to see more movies with the family from the original Knives Out?
Ooh. I would be definitely curious to see the original family, but more Benoit Blanc.
Okay. Well, you're going to get it.
Good. I didn't know that. I'm so excited about that.
I'm so glad I could give you the good news of the day. So what was your part in Yes, Mother?
I wrote it, co-starred, co-directed, and did the music for it, which I should not have done because I don't have that background, but I did, and it was very fun.
You know, Danny Elfman didn't have the background of scoring films before Paul Rubens and Tim Burton approached him for Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and they said, like, this is the guy, and he said, I don't know how to score a film, and he told his agent, like, you have to tell them no, and his agent said, you call him, you tell him no, and eventually he did it just because he couldn't tell him no. And now it's what he's best known for, not Oingo Boingo.
Oh, that's so cool. See, I'm learning so much.
Yeah, it's half the fun. And also, you mentioned that you're a Twitch streamer, but you also have a podcast called Off Book. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I have a podcast actually with Jennifer where we talk about production, acting, editing, just kind of more so focused on the world of film, but we'll see what else pops up as we continue pumping out episodes.
And Jennifer, you mentioned to me earlier that you're working on starting a film school. Is that something that kind of plays into that kind of topics of the podcast where there's some kind of a synergy between those two projects?
Yeah. I know I hadn't thought of it that way, but I think so. I mean, really, we've just been I like to tease and say I switched to the dark side 10 years ago when I went behind the camera. All my crew friends say it's the opposite. I came into the light. But anyway, we have a studio now, and it's about 2 miles from Shawshank Prison, if anybody knows where that is. So, to have a studio with down the road an XR stage. We don't have that yet because we're still just getting the studio started. And we're right by this other really popular location. We're finding that there's work and there's support, which we sort of were a little bit surprised to find that much. We really weren't looking to have a school, though. And then everyone kept saying, if you gave classes, I would come. And so we said, all right, let's start making a curriculum and so forth. And we've already got a long list of people who want to come and study different things.
And that's where? That's in Brooklyn? That's in Ohio? Where's that?
It's in Ohio. It's in Mansfield, Ohio, which is where the prison is.
There you go. Yeah, they don't put a lot of prisons in Brooklyn, do they?
No. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I would like to be the next Rockport because, nobody was thinking about Maine as this place where you would go to learn cinematography or whatever, and yet it is.
I've been to Rockport. It's a nice little town.
It is nice.
And you can't make ships anymore. You got to do something.
You got to do something, and Mansfield would love for that to happen where they are. We said, well, let's see what we can make happen. And at the very least, we have an amazing studio for a song because prices there are a lot cheaper than
I'll bet
here. Yeah.
I'll bet. So guys, before we play 5 to 9, we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up round. Before the show, we asked you to write down the names of 5 actors each. I'm going to pull one of those names out of this hat, and we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock for you guys to rattle off any movie that person's been in. Could be a thing they starred in, could be a cameo. As long as they're in it, it counts. Jason's got 60 seconds up on the clock.
You know I do.
And for 60 seconds, can you name any movie, as many movies as you can, with Anthony Hopkins? Go.
Oh, no.
Silence of the Lambs?
That's one.
Yes, it is. That was what I was going to say. Howard's End? Was he in Howard's End?
Could not tell you.
Oh, he may have been. Wait, isn't
Remains
Red
of the
Dragon
Day?
the first one of Silence of the Lambs?
They remade it with him. That's another one.
Okay.
Yeah. Remains of the Day. Okay.
Remains of the Day. And, what was that one with Anne Margaret? Because I remember it. Oh, he's like a ventriloquist.
Wait, did he do Clockwork Orange? Was that him?
That was not.
That was not him.
No. Why did I write his name down on that
was,
list?
Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, that was... Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was Malcolm McDowell.
I know I've seen him in more things.
He's been in a bunch of things lately.
The one with Olivia Colman where he's losing he has dementia, and that was last year, and he was up for everything. He was up for Oscars and SAG Awards.
And the name of it was?
What the name of it was? My dad's losing his memory.
No,
That's not
think
it.
So. Anything else with Anthony Hopkins?
I know
That is
there are
time.
things.
Oh, ladies.
What? Oh.
So just recently, of course, he's been in a whole spate of Marvel movies, including Thor, Thor: The Dark World, Thor: Ragnarok. He was in all those.
See, your wife said you like the Marvel movies,
I
so
really
you would
do.
know this.
I really do. And I think my favorite movie with Anthony Hopkins, of course, there's, Meet Joe Black, Legends of the Fall. But I think my favorite film of his has to be The Search for Wellness, where he plays Kellogg on this health retreat place.
Yeah.
But Jason, what else do we have? What else was Anthony Hopkins in?
I mean, he is prolific. I've got 143 credits here just listed for him.
Just give us some of the fun ones.
The most recent ones are The Sun, Zero Contact, and Armageddon Time. Those three were just last year. Some other off the top of my head, you mentioned the Thor movies, the Transformers, the most recent one there.
You mentioned two movies in the Silence of the Lambs trilogy. The third one's called Hannibal. Could have had that one. What they did was they made Red Dragon, and then with an entirely different cast, they made Silence of the Lambs, and then the author wrote the sequel, Hannibal. They made a movie out of that, and then because, you want more money, they went back and remade Red Dragon with Anthony Hopkins and also Ed Norton.
What was the one with Olivia Colman where he was losing? That was just like last year or 2 years ago that it was up for all the awards.
I'm not familiar with the three, but he was in The Sun.
Not that one. No, it wouldn't have been.
Look up Olivia Cole.
I know that it'll ring a bell.
Zero Contact and Armageddon Time. And 2021 was Where Are You? The Virtuoso. He was a voice in Mythic Quest and a movie called Elise. The Father. Now is everything.
The Father. I'll bet you that's it. Because I said my father's losing his memory.
There you go.
I was close.
Oh, there we go. Yep,
I bet that's it.
With Olivia Colman. Yep, sorry.
That's it. The Father.
Yep.
I nearly got there.
And
Great
I'll
film.
also add to the list Hitchcock.
Of course.
Yeah.
Not the Will Smith one, the Alfred one.
Yes.
And I'll also throw on Beowulf.
Sure.
All right.
That was that Robert Zemeckis Uncanny Valley period.
Yeah.
When he was just making everything weird. And Polar Express.
It was a fun movie. Not a great movie, but it was a fun movie.
Beowulf was fun. Right.
Well,
I had a great time.
Anthony Hopkins is always worth the price of admission.
Sure.
If he's in a thing, you know it's going to be good. It doesn't even matter if the film's not great. He's going to be good, and it's worth watching.
Oh, he's always fantastic.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So, guys, the real reason we've invited you both here today is to play the movie game 5 to 9, where you'll have to connect actors to actors in no fewer than 5 and no more than 9 movies. It is time now to open up your game pads.
Oh, no.
And I am going to start drawing names out of this hat for our spot, for our 2 spot, and for our wild card. So crack those games open.
Well, I'm trying.
And the first actor that we're going to put in our from spot is the recently crowned Best Actor, Brendan Fraser.
Oh.
So grab a pen. Let's put him
in the from
spot. I just watched that movie. It's also playing right now, right here, actually, at the showroom. Not by the time this episode airs, but it was an experience. And we're going to connect from Brendan Fraser to Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh gosh,
who is just the it girl right now in absolutely everything. If they're making a movie, they're casting her in it.
Oh, she's in that thing.
Now, one more name I'm going to draw, and that's going to be our wild card. We have to connect from Brendan Fraser to Anya Taylor-Joy to win the game. But if we can get through Marion Cotillard.
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 Thank you very much.
That's
because
the
you're
French
born
people.
in France. If you can get through her, you will get a bonus 3 points.
Oh, man.
I may be misspelling it, but that one's on me. Now, one more thing, guys. We're going to spin the house rules wheel. And if you can land on the house rule, every time you do, you're going to get a bonus point. I'm giving this thing a spin. All right. So this one, and Jason, you're going to love this one. Today's house rule is I felt that. Jason, tell them what it means.
I felt that. FELT, of course. Players will get a bonus point for every movie used today that features Jim Henson creations.
Oh, dear God.
Oh,
Doesn't
my
have to be
God.
Henson production, but
Yeah.
with his creations, which we talked about a lot in our Double Josh episode.
Yes.
A lot of those came up.
Yep.
But so, ladies, let's put down Brendan Fraser in our first spot, in our from spot, and start talking it out. What are some movies Brendan Fraser is in? How can we get from him to Marion Cotillard?
Cotillard.
There we go. I just tried to gargle.
Make the 2 L's a Y, and you're halfway there.
There we go. And what connections could we get to them and or to Anya Taylor-Joy?
Geez, Brendan Fraser. So there was such a long gap in his career, but I know everybody's been talking about the fact that he went from Encino Man to The Whale, which is quite a career arc.
Yeah.
But okay, so The Mummy and George of the Jungle.
Now who's in The Mummy?
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz is phenomenal, and I feel like there's got to be a connection
Rachel
from her.
Weisz
Yeah.
was in Rachel Weisz. Oh no, I don't think she was in. She's married to the last James Bond, but I don't.
She is.
Was she in a James Bond?
She was not in a James Bond
wasn't.
film. No.
I know she worked with him on something because they met doing
Right.
something, but I don't know what it was.
Okay.
I have a look. I'm looking at your face and I have a feeling I'm ahead of you
I don't
already.
know. Well, I know the
who was
whale.
the most recent James Bond?
Daniel Craig.
Right, who plays the the ones you want to keep seeing.
Benoit Blanc.
Right, of course. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect.
But I know that latest film of hers. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it because we were just
Menu.
inundated. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
menu.
The
We
menu
were
was
just inundated
very,
with the
very
SAG
fun.
Awards.
The menu
screenings.
definitely caught me off guard. I thought it was going to be a foodie movie,
Yes,
and it
I
starts as a
understand
foodie movie.
It isn't.
Oh, it
I
is
was-
so not a foodie movie.
So I very deliberately, I don't watch trailers. If I'm going to watch a movie, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to experience it the way the filmmakers intended it. So where like the things that were unexpected, I don't expect. Like sometimes to a fault where it's like, oh, wow, this person's in this movie. And it's like, it was in all of the trailers, and it's like, nope, I didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
I was here for it. So yeah, that was,
But I haven't.
I thought I would watch like half
seen
an
it.
hour of it and come back to it tomorrow and go to bed. Nope. Stayed up till 2 a.m. that day.
yeah, I bet. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good though.
Stayed up all the way till the hamburger.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. So
Oh, she also did Split.
she
Who's
did.
the guy in Split?
I didn't see it.
The guy in
See, oh,
there's,
I
there's a
didn't-
bunch of guys.
All I remember, I saw her in that chess series. That's
Oh,
all.
Queen's
like,
Gambit.
Right,
But
which is a
that's
series.
TV
I know,
show.
but
But
I
okay.
mean, like that's it. That's
who
I
was
don't know her.
who was in Split and the sequel to Split with her because she was in both.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of like the main guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Oh, that's so
I
sad.
don't know anyone's name.
What was the sequel to Split called though? It was part of a trilogy.
It was part of a trilogy because it was the like Glass?
Yes, Glass was the sequel. Who was in Glass?
Was Samuel L. Jackson in
Samuel L.
that?
Jackson was the
Yeah.
Glass Man. That's correct.
Yeah.
Did he do a movie with Brendan Fraser? Did he do a movie with Marion Cotillard?
Oh.
Sorry.
Mm.
He wasn't in La Vie en Rose, was he? That was a
Oh,
French
I
film. I don't
think
think.
We can also work outward from her if we can kind
That's
of
what I was
start
trying to
with her and kind of
think.
look for those tentacles. What was she in?
Marion Cotillard did a film with Brad Pitt.
She
Remember
did.
that was when she
Yeah. What was it?
What was it
she
called?
did. I can picture them.
Yep.
That was when he was breaking up with Angelina Jolie.
Apparently there was some accusation that perhaps the two of them
That
had,
it had
pulled a
something to do
Mr. and
with it.
Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
But no, that was firmly denied. But yes.
Yeah, but so was Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Well, no, I think that was just rumor fuel. Oh my gosh.
I
what
do
was the
remember
name of
that happening. I remember that was the rumor of the moment.
But
Yep.
Marion Cotillard has been in a bunch of things. Oh, Marion Cotillard was in The Dark Knight Rises.
She was in that.
Yeah, with
And-
Anne Hathaway.
And what other Christopher Nolan film was she in?
Sister.
Yeah, my big sister.
She's
I can
Anne
see the
Hathaway's little
resemblance.
sister,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Except actually lately I've been getting Anya Taylor-Joy, which I don't see as much at all. But
It's the eyes.
yeah.
So she was in The Dark Knight Rises, and she was in another Christopher Nolan film, if you can recall.
She was.
Really introduced her to American audiences.
Oh, see, but I already knew her as a French.
Yeah,
you see,
'cause
we
the
used to live in
Alright, so-
France,
Like
so it's like,
so-
what was the thing that made her big here?
I mean, the Dark Knight Rises was no small thing. Who was in that?
saw it.
I did?
Yes. You were the one who, I didn't even watch that movie. You watched it.
I did? Really?
Okay, so we have-
You had to watch
we
it
have-
for SAG Awards.
Oh,
And-
I had to watch it
Because
for
it had
SAG
Bane
Awards.
in it. It
Did it
was
have,
the-
was Heath Ledger in that one or no?
No,
that's a
that was
different
Dark
one.
Knight. This
'Cause-
is the
Yeah,
sequel.
if it was up for SAG Awards, I saw it.
But who's the guy who
Well, who played
Batman?
Batman in that one? Because there've been so
Why
many.
am I blanking on his name?
I'm
Dude
not
actually knows
blanking on his
it.
name. I'm just mixing up all the movies. Oh, was it who?
Oh wait, Marion Cotillard was introduced to an American
Marion.
audience with Inception.
That's correct.
Yes.
Oh,
that's
Another Christopher
where
Nolan
she got.
film.
Right.
Yes,
Leonardo
that's what it was.
DiCaprio and Elliot Page.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember who else was in that. That had a
Oh,
bigger
that one-
cast than that, but I'm blank.
Yeah, that
Um,
one boy who was in stuff back then. I haven't seen him since. I'm totally blanking. I
Yes.
think he kissed Elliot Page in a really awkward scene. in
Was
that.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt in
Yes,
that?
that boy.
Mhm.
That boy who's like, what,
That boy's like a
45 years
40-year-old
old?
man,
He
yeah.
looks like a very
Boyish, youthful.
Well,
He does.
He was a child actor who started
Yeah.
out
Who was
in...
in something with Brendan Fraser? Maybe?
I don't know.
Was
I don't know. I don't know. He.
Uh,
See, I'm thinking of a
He
TV
grew up
show.
in front of us on Third Rock.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of as
Third
Third
Rock from the
Rock,
Sun.
which doesn't count. Not that that would
Nope.
help me because Brendan Fraser wasn't on that.
Nope.
Neither was Marion Cotillard. Can you imagine?
I'd pay to see it.
Oh, dang.
Wait, how much would you pay to see it? Because maybe we can make this happen.
That would be fun.
Fun to film, pay to see it. All right, so think it through. Who else was? Let's think about Brendan Fraser films. Yes, we have Rachel Weisz in The Mummy. What else?
I was thinking of in The Whale, there's that girl from Stranger Things who was also in Eli, which you have not watched yet
No,
because
I
I
haven't
keep
seen
telling you
that.
to watch
And
it.
her name, her alliterative name is.
I don't know her actual name.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I
That's not gonna
know.
help.
Oh
I
no.
I don't know who she is.
Well, who else was in The Whale who was nominated for an Academy Award?
Hong Chow.
I voted for Hong Chow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I voted for her too. She was phenomenal.
She was. And so, what else was Hong Chow in?
I don't think
I
I've
don't
seen her
know.
before.
I mean, wasn't she in The Menu?
Wait, was she? in
We'll just say yes. Yeah, she was in the menu. That
I'm
film I haven't seen
Pretty
yet.
sure she was the sous chef. Was she,
She
not?
should be.
was she?
If you can double check that for me, Jason, I would really appreciate it.
She was in the menu, yes.
She was in The Menu.
Well, there you go.
Okay,
See, I
okay.
told you I knew that.
Such a different role.
Well, she's an actor,
She
you know.
did really well. I mean, yes. Yeah. No. Okay. So, well, that is then
Well,
a
wait,
connection
where
to.
were we? We were.
Well,
what
that's
film-
a direct connection. So
To
she
Anya
was in the-
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, because I thought, wait, who are we talking
The
about?
problem
right
is
then?
we cannot say Brendan Fraser was in The Whale with Hong Chow, who was in The Menu with Anya
Oh,
Taylor-Joy,
it's too
because that's
close.
two
Too
movies.
close. Oh,
They have to be
yeah.
at
Add
least
two
5
more.
and not more than 9
Dang.
movies. But man, we almost did it so
I know.
fast.
Well, yeah, we, including you. I told you I was going to suck at this. Yeah, so that's too short.
Do you know this girl's name from Stranger Things? Not the main girl. It's the other girl, the redhead girl, who was also in The Whale, the daughter.
I know what you're talking about because I hadn't I watched Stranger Things for the SAG Awards and I hadn't connected that was the same girl until somebody told me because it was it was
She's
her.
somebody.
It was
Yeah.
well, she is. See, I'm not lying. It was you. Somebody.
You know, usually I do start the episode, I do at least start the game with a quick apology in advance to the actors who spent a career building a body of work whose faces we know, but whose names we will likely butcher, and to the hardworking directors, producers, and writers who picked the perfect name for a film that we may likely fumble through today, but somehow I neglected to do that, and yet here we are living in that reality.
The middle of the show is just as good, and you might as well do it right before we go to a break.
I should, and guys, we'll be right back after this break.
Hey, it's producer Jason stepping in here real quick to thank you for listening to 5 to 9, a movie game podcast. We're actually really excited to bring this show back for its new season with new and improved audio and video. If you listen to the audio version, make sure you subscribe on your podcast app of choice to make sure you get the newest episodes as soon as they release. And if you want to watch the video as well, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Links to all of these can be found at 5to9game.com. Okay, you followed? You there? You got it? Great. Let's get back to the show.
Big apologies to Hong Chow. So sorry. I can't believe that she was in the
No, that's actually a compliment. If you, I mean, last night that was the best compliment I got on that film because that woman, she said, "Oh, you were the mother." She didn't recognize me, and I said, "Thank you," because I wouldn't like acting. Thank you.
All right. So think it out. List as many Brendan Fraser movies as you can. Maybe that'll kind of get some of the juices flowing. We figure out how to connect from there to maybe our wild card.
Hong Chow is in the middle between the two as we had them. So maybe if we can go from him to her with something in the middle.
But you had like Rachel Weisz. You had
I did.
Who all was in like.
And there's like Sam. I just want to hit my head against the wall because the guy who was in that movie too. I totally know his name.
Which guy in which movie?
In that? What that guy in that movie, in The Mummy, who's like the adventurer, and he turns out to be underhanded and. He's handsome.
Not that guy, but is Ben Kingsley in The Mummy?
Ben Kingsley is not in The Mummy.
He's not in The Mummy.
Not in The Mummy.
Thinking of.
Different bald guy.
You're thinking of who played the mummy, the actual.
Yes, I'm thinking of who played the actual mummy.
Different bald. So other than mummy films, what else can you list about
George
Brendan
of the
Fraser?
Jungle had
right?
that adorable woman who has she has a little bit of a lisp, and she was like.
And what's her name?
I don't remember.
Do you know Encino Man? Because you were talking about that.
No, I just I
lot of
did
folks
not
at
see
Encino
it.
Man.
I know that had Ki Hoi Kwan in it, and I
Yes.
know it was Pauly Shore. What he must be thinking when his co-stars this one.
He tweeted some very positive things.
I'm glad.
Wait, you said Ki Hoi Kwan is
Yes.
in
Yeah.
it?
He
So
was in it.
is there a path?
Is that the path we want?
Because he's
Try it.
well.
Let's
So
let's
then
start
most recently,
So Brendan Fraser to Ki Hoi Kwan to
Everything Everywhere All at Once has
Hong Chow.
no. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Who else in that is like Jamie
They're
Lee
all in
Curtis,
that.
Stephanie. I do not know how to pronounce her name. I'm so sorry.
Shu, isn't it? Is
Shu?
it who? Shu? I forgot. I've seen it written and I'm blank.
Shu, I have seen it Sue, like the H is silent, and I apologize that I do not know for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard it said yet.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
Michelle
I've seen
Yeoh.
it spelled more than one way. Yeah.
Just
Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't in Encino Man, was she?
I don't know. I literally only know the name. I never saw it.
But Jamie Lee Curtis is in a lot of things with
She
a lot
sure
of people.
is. But who else was in Encino Man?
We can let's just forget that movie.
I'm just gonna whisper.
I mean,
Okay.
it definitely got us. It's great for the podcast. It definitely got us to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay.
Yeah, which great film. Phenomenal.
Absolutely.
If you haven't seen it, you're wrong.
Oh, I watched it on opening day of wide release
Love
as soon as it
that.
came into our area.
I feel like Jamie Lee Curtis is connected to.
She's
a
done
lot of
so much. I am sick
things.
with confusion right now. So
Freaky Friday with Lindsay
I know. I
Lohan.
was thinking of Freaky Friday. She was in
Love
that.
that
So
movie.
she was there with Mark Harmon, and I'm connected to him.
Halloween to
Halloween.
That's not
Many
gonna
Halloween
help.
movies.
Many
Yeah,
Halloween
so
movies.
many.
Oh, and then she did with a Terminator guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mhm.
God, that was hilarious.
What was that movie?
What was that called? Oh, he's a spy. She doesn't know it. She becomes one. She's so freaking funny.
She's great
like
in it.
doing a kind of a striptease.
Directed
dance.
by James Cameron,
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Mr. Box Office.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that movie was a huge hit. Why am I blank on?
Well,
the
just
name of
just
that
try to think. You
movie?
know, her husband was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and what was he doing? Where she didn't know that he was a spy because he was doing what?
What was his fake job?
Well, but he had
and you have seen this
he
movie before.
Oh, I
he
have?
he had a fake job, which means he was doing what to his wife about his job?
True Lies.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
You are good at helping me come up with answers
You know
that
a
I
lot of
don't know. So,
All right,
okay.
so we got to True Lies.
We got to True Lies.
So where are we going to go from there?
I forgot where we started.
Well,
Well,
no, you
so
said,
we-
okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we need to try Marion Cotillard or Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yep. If you can get to Kevin Bacon, he's worth 2 points. Any Saturday Night Live cast members are going to be worth a bonus point. Any Jim Henson Muppetry is worth a point,
Yeah.
but not a requirement. Okay, we're in True Lies. You can go through Arnold if you want to go there. But how are we going to loop it back to Marion? Give me one more time.
Cotillard.
Cotillard.
Yeah.
There we
très
go.
bien.
Très bien.
Pardon.
très bien. And definitely to Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our main goal. My
Have
own
to
would
get
be nice. So
Did Arnold Schwarzenegger ever work with Samuel L. Jackson?
That's a really good
that's
question.
a good question.
Now,
but he did work with Sally Field, and that might be a good.
well, hold
Sally
on.
Field work?
Hold on. We know somebody who's worked with Samuel L. Jackson a lot, who is actually Arnold Schwarzenegger's business partner in a big venture and also in several movies with him.
Danny DeVito.
No. So there's
I want to
There's-
see
That was
that
unli-
movie.
that was
Whatever that
unlikely.
movie is.
there's
I
a
want them.
trio of
They play
action
twins.
stars.
Seriously.
I'm
There-
already sold.
There is a let's see if we can make this, because I've got an idea, and I don't know if you guys can work it out that way or we'll go a different way. But there is a trio of '90s action stars that includes Arnold Schwarzenegger and two others, and they created a restaurant franchise together. Any recollection of this? If not, we'll just pivot somewhere else.
This rings a bell, but I
Wait, did he
I wasn't
ever-
even living in the United States.
Did he
I'm not
work
sure.
with John Travolta? Because didn't John Travolta in Pulp Fiction with Samuel L. Jackson, which would then
That's
Samuel L.
true.
Jackson
He wasn't really thought of as an action star.
Okay,
at
so-
the
so
time,
it wasn't
but-
that-
That's just what made me
But,
think of
but you're
the-
right. They
let
did
me
work
ask
together.
you this: what's the benefit of hitting Sam Jackson?
For oh wait, was he? No, he because that was for Glass. But I don't
And
know
that
that
would
guy's
get us-
name
okay, to
because I
Anya
need to know
Taylor-Joy.
that guy's name.
No,
to know.
it's,
Oh wait,
it's
is
okay.
Anna in?
She is.
She's in Glass.
She's in Split and Glass.
Okay,
so we
cool.
can definitely. Okay, so True Lies has Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna write Arnold on my card so I don't embarrass myself.
That's fair.
We all know who he is.
Yeah,
Arnold.
there's only the one.
And then all we have to do is get from him to Samuel L. Jackson, and you guys have a win. Can you do it? I feel like these two huge movie stars, there's got to be, if not something they're in, somebody who's been in some things with them.
yeah.
Wait, so who are we connecting to Arnold?
Arnold and Samuel L. Jackson.
To Samuel L. Jackson.
Which there has to be. There has to be something.
There has to be
'Cause
something.
They're both so
Samuel L. Jackson did.
exactly.
I mean, Pulp Fiction. Anyone in that? I think he did Django Unchained.
Yeah,
right.
I was
Did?
just
that's-
thinking about
yeah.
Django
He's done a
Unchained.
lot of Tarantino films.
So many.
Ooh, who is in Django Unchained?
What's that guy's name?
Everybody.
The main guy.
Oh, who's
Who
The
does
guy who
Samuel
was
L.
the
Jackson
racist.
work for? Yeah. Candyman.
What's that guy's name? He's like a really big deal.
He is. He's a really big
Such a
deal. And he's in a
Oh, wait.
movie with Marion Cotillard.
is he?
Wait, is that Brad Pitt?
Not-
No.
not
It's
Brad
it's the
He
Hey,
he
sometimes
was
dead air is funny.
he was the Susan Lucci of the Academy Awards until he finally won.
wait, Leonardo DiCaprio?
Leonardo
Oh,
DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
so we can get Leonardo DiCaprio with Marion Cotillard. Am I getting closer?
Yeah.
I'm improving.
You
Yes.
are. That's actually
Tu
quite
parles
good.
français maintenant.
Merci.
You keep wanting to say Marine because
I
you're
do.
thinking of your
I
cousin.
am thinking of my cousin.
So what was the thought process on that? We had
we started with
Sam
Brendan.
Jackson can get us both to Marion Cotillard and to Anya Taylor-Joy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's two different directions. So I guess if we can get from Arnold Schwarzenegger to Leonardo DiCaprio, we've got it.
Yeah.
Oh God, Arnold Schwarzenegger to Leonardo
Well,
DiCaprio.
now hold on a second.
Interesting.
We just said who directed True Lies.
Oh, yeah, Cameron, who
Right.
directed Titanic.
Right. So is there
Mhm.
any
And-
kind of actors that he likes to use a lot that maybe was in both? I literally have no answer to this. I don't know.
Who was the
Kate
the other?
Winslet? Was
Yeah.
she-
Was she? Did she?
She's-
Gloria
she's been in a
Stewart,
few
a little
movies.
too old to have.
She's in the most recent Avatar, I think, right? Didn't you put Kate Winslet in that one? Is there a way to make that? I mean, we can't
There's-
really go through
There
directors,
might be.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, but you have. I listened. I did my homework. Let's see if I can twist his arm.
Okay. Well, no, I'm trying to think.
Yep, I can confirm Kate Winslet in
Avatar
not
2.
Shape of Water, The Way of Water.
Shape of Water was a different movie.
That's
Yes.
right.
Different blue guy.
Different blue.
Different. Yeah. Good point.
Doug Jones, Blue Guy, practical effects.
Who else was in
Oh yeah, the
Titanic?
effects on Shape of Water were really
Oh,
good.
Billy
Well,
Zane? Who
or
was
just
it?
any
Billy
other
Zane's a good one.
Leonardo DiCaprio film.
Say that again?
Any Leonardo DiCaprio film to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, I can't think that they've been in
He
a
was
film
in
together.
Inception.
I don't think they've been in a film together.
No.
Yeah, that was.
But
Inception,
was there-
He's done like a lot.
He has.
The one where he won the Oscar. What was that called? Where he gets sliced by that bear. What an amazing CGI.
Oh yeah.
thing.
Wait, was it
What was that called?
just the bear? No,
No.
it was not.
You're
called the
thinking
bear.
Cocaine Bear,
I
and
am
I think
thinking
we're going
Cocaine
down the,
Bear.
we're
So
going down the wrong
there's
side.
Cocaine Bear out now. There's The Bear from 1989. There's Jack the Bear from I think 96, give or take.
Revenant.
Revenant.
The Revenant. Okay.
That's what
How
Which
it
is
does
a
was.
French word.
How does that help us?
I don't think it
No,
does.
I'm not sure.
Oh, was
that
he
it
the kid in
does.
What's Eating Gil?
He
Yes,
was.
he was.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
He was.
Is
Yeah.
there, is there anyone
who was in
there?
there?
I
Was,
don't know.
was
That movie stars.
Was that Johnny Depp?
It was.
It was Johnny Depp.
was Johnny Depp.
But I don't
I was
think
going to
they're
say, was
any
Elliot
closer.
Page in that? I'm trying to think who was
No.
popular
I
at
don't
the
think
time.
Elliot Page was born.
It might not have been. That's possible. You're right. You're right.
Maybe we can get from Arnold Schwarzenegger to somebody else in Inception. Could be Elliot Page. Could
Like I
be.
said,
Could
because
be.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
I can
early
think of a
in
movie
his
with Elliot Page with Kevin Bacon
really
for 2 points.
Man, I can't. I guess you just got 2 points. I didn't. But I was saying a very early movie of Arnold's was with Sally Field, and I can't remember the name of it, but he basically played a Mr. Universe type.
Sure.
But if I could think of the name of it, then you got Sally Field there, and she's also got a
Kevin Bacon wasn't in Juno, right?
No, Kevin Bacon was not in Juno.
No.
Oh God. No, I don't remember who that was. I'm just remembering Elliot Page movies and how Hard Candy was really
Oh
good.
my goodness. My brain just connected somebody in True Lies to a movie with Johnny Depp. And
Okay,
it's such
who
a,
else was
they're-
in True
They
Lies?
both have such tiny parts in the movie. I don't think anybody's ever going to come up with it. But at the end of the game, I'm going to have some fun with it.
I can't remember who else was in it. I mean, I've seen the movie a few times.
Sure.
It's just been a really long time.
All right.
I don't know if I don't think I know this movie.
Who was the guy that is trying to pick her up? Is it him? The guy who's like pretends to be a spy? And he clearly isn't because he's
Oh, yeah,
a total
it's-
doofus.
It's himself.
I can't think of his name.
All right. So
I'm not gonna
so
come up
we
with
can
that.
let me tell you a couple things. First of all, we got on Arnold Schwarzenegger from True Lies. We can go Jamie Curtis somewhere else.
That's true
That's
because
true,
she's got
that's
a
true.
lot of stuff
She does.
there too.
She has a lot of stuff. And or we can just start rattling off every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and there were so many.
There were so many.
Well,
So
you said
many.
Lindsay Lohan.
I did. I don't know what I know that she's done other films. I just don't know who she would. Oh wait, no, was she
Mean
Was that
Girls.
Mean Girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mean Girls.
Yes.
with Amanda?
Seyfried.
Seyfried.
Yes.
And
Can we get from her to anybody in Inception?
I'm forgetting what we're supposed
I
to.
know.
I know that you mentioned so
I know
many
she
things.
was
So like,
in-
who am I trying to connect now?
She was in Les Mis, so that connects to Anne Hathaway, but that's not who we're going for.
That's the wrong.
No, but
person.
Anne Hathaway connects to Marion Cotillard because of Dark Knight Rises.
That's correct. Okay. Okay. Hold on. We may have got this. You're right. So let's back it up to Jamie Lee Curtis,
Okay.
who was in, yes, Freaky Friday, with, yes, Lindsay Lohan, who 10 years ago today reenacted the 7-year itch scene of Marilyn Monroe while wearing an ankle monitor.
Oh my.
Love that.
Lindsay Lohan was in Mean Girls with, say it again,
Amanda
With-
Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried, yes. Who was in Les Mis,
Anne Hathaway,
Mhm.
your big sister.
who was in, with Anne Hathaway.
Okay, I forgot where.
Who was in Dark Knight Rises?
Oh, that was it. That was what we were after. Dark Knight Rises with Marion Cotillard. So I said it for you. I got you there.
Thank you.
Who was... How did we start with her
And
in the first place?
Yeah, so we had a way. Hold on. Now
We did.
We had a way to get from her to Anya Taylor-Joy. We explained, you figured out.
Wait, was it Glass?
Yes. It was Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio, who was in Django Unchained.
With Samuel L. Jackson.
With Sam Jackson. You got this, guys.
Yes.
I was worried, but you did it. Sam Jackson, who was in Glass as the Glass Man with Anya Taylor-Joy. Guys, you have just won 5-9 with 9 movies. You did it by the skin of your teeth. Let's total up these points, guys. At the bottom of the card, we'll have 10 minus the number of movies, gets you only 1 point, but you get 3 points for your wild card of Marion Cotillard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cotillard.
There we go, Cotillard. Did we get the house rule anything with Jim Henson puppetry? We did not. Did we get Kevin Bacon? We did not.
No.
But I will tell you, Elliot Page was in the James Gunn directed film Super with Kevin Bacon,
I forgot about
which
that movie.
also had Rainn Wilson and Liv Tyler.
Yes.
So we did not get Kevin Bacon. Did we get any Saturday Night Live cast members? We did not, despite the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis's husband, Christopher Guest, was for 1 year a cast member on SNL, as all members of Spinal Tap eventually were after the film. But guys, you have done it. You have squeaked it out with 4 points and a win. I could not be more proud of both of you. Jennifer, Cynthia, thank you so much for taking the time to be on 5-9, for playing our game. You've each won the official 5-9 gamepad, which comes with 50 game cards and is also available now at 529game.com. Listeners, make sure to check out Yes Mother. Where can they check it out? Is it available anywhere?
Oh, that's a good question, because we just talked about it last night, because this was our last film festival for it. So now we can put it out there, and she's trying to decide. I'm leaving it up to her.
I think it'll be on each of our websites.
Probably.
So
I have
shout out yours.
It's either jenniferenskat.com, and Enskat's ENSKAT, not what you would think. Or you can go to leapyearfilms.com, because this was a Leap Year Films production. So it'll probably live there.
And also, while you're sitting here listening to a podcast, do scroll in your podcast app to find the Off Book podcast to get more of these two fabulous filmmakers. Guys, if you 5-9ers listening out there, we're chomping at the bit, yelling out better solutions for today's challenge. Enter for a chance to come on our show by beating us at our own game. Jason, what are some fun connections they could have used to beat us?
A lot of the most fun ones that I found, we got in the game naturally. One of the most direct routes that we disqualified earlier was going through Hong Chow, going through the whale in the menu.
Sure. I also loved her in Downsizing. The movie was kind of so-so, but she was great in it. It's an Alexander Payne film.
I've heard of it. I had not watched it, but I mean, if she's in it, now I need to watch it.
She's all you missed. Matt Damon, just Matt Damon's all over the place in it.
There were other very direct routes that we could have taken for a little bit of a loop. We could have gone from Brendan Fraser to through The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor with Michelle Yeoh.
There we go.
Now,
could have also gotten us to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Michelle Yeoh through the movie Morgan to Anya Taylor-Joy. Now, with Michelle Yeoh, we could have taken a step away from The Mummy and gotten into Encino Man with Ke Huy Quan, and then through Everything Everywhere back to Michelle Yeoh to add an extra step to that. Some other fun ones here. We were trying to, at one point, to tie Sam Jackson to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you guys were thinking of all the fun, cool Sam Jackson movies. You weren't thinking of the dumb ones.
And there were so many snakes on a plane's
There
dumb
was
ones.
Oh my God,
a
yeah?
CGI movie about a very fast snail called Turbo
Oh God.
with Bill Hader, SNL cast member.
Oh, wow.
Which would have gotten us Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So where I was going was The Expendables, which had both Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, of course, is Invincible in the film Invincible, in Split, and in Glass, James McAvoy was the name of the actor you were looking for
Thank
in
you.
Split.
That was the other thing I had
Thank
here.
you. Oh my god.
You know, Oscar Isaac said the reason why he took the role of Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse was just to act with James McAvoy. But then they had him in this big suit where they just had to be running like air conditioning through it the whole time, and he couldn't hear anybody, so he was just sitting by himself the whole time and didn't actually get to interact with anybody. And it was not a good time for him.
Aw.
Jason, you one more good one.
So who knew Arnold Schwarzenegger to Sam Jackson? Bill Hader was the was the missing link.
Though.
The Stranger Things actress you were thinking of earlier was Sadie Sink.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you.
The alliterative name we were missing.
I was
Oh,
having a
yes.
very
Sadie Sink.
hard time finding Muppet connections. The closest I found was if we go from Brendan Fraser and
Brendan
George.
Fraser is a Muppet. Can we just agree on that?
Well,
I would
George of the
that.
Jungle did feature puppetry from Jim
Yeah.
Henson
And
Studios.
he is a Muppet of a man.
Oh. Yeah.
So George of the Jungle would have been
Bonus point.
a debatable bonus point had we gone through that.
I think it would have been a real clear one. And the actress you were missing from George of the Jungle, I'm pretty sure, was it George of the Jungle or was it Dudley Do-Right that had Sarah Jessica Parker?
It was not George of the Jungle. That's not who I was picturing.
Gotcha.
I think that
must have
was.
been
I think that was Dudley Do-Right. I'm not sure, but
I don't see her under George of the Jungle.
yeah.
All right.
Who is the female lead of George of the Jungle? Adorable blonde woman.
Clear it up for us, Jason.
I've got Leslie Mann.
That's it.
Yep.
It was Leslie.
There
Mann.
we
Oh my
go.
God. See, I'm like, I knew her.
There we
I'm
go.
like,
Mrs. Judd Apatow,
Yes,
Leslie Mann
yes.
herself.
Yeah.
And the other closest thing I got to a Muppet connection is a TV credit, so it wouldn't count in the
Not
game.
gonna count.
But Anya Taylor-Joy was a voice on The Dark Crystal.
There we go. So, guys,
Oh,
for those of you
okay.
listening at home, you can get your official 529 game pads at 529game.com. Play today's challenge and tag at 529game with your winning game card on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook to show us how it's done. High scores, as well as creativity and entertainment value, will all be considered. This has been 5 to 9. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg. Our show is recorded at the Showroom Cinema on Cookman Avenue in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Our producers are Jason Portizo and Laura Ginsberg. Our theme music is Monday Night on an Otherwise Empty Beach by me on my album Fire, streaming on all platforms now. Subscribe to 5 to 9 wherever you get podcasts. Follow us on social media at 5 to 9 Game to play with or against the global 5 to 9 community. Thanks for listening, and let's play together again soon.